So I'm recording now. So this is our first Zoom that Lauren and I's downline are having on together, and it's really exciting. So it's nice to see some new faces that I've actually never seen before.
There's a lot of people on. I'm impressed, you guys. Very impressed.
Sorry, were you going to talk, Lauren? So me and Lauren got on the phone yesterday, and we talked about the topic that we were going to talk to you guys about today. And so we want to get on these every other week with you guys. And once you guys start developing more and more diamonds, they're more than welcome to join this as well. Hopefully at the end of August, we'll be capping out at 25. And I mean, that would be pretty fantastic. So this time we wanted to talk about something that I actually talked to Lauren about, and I know Cindy and Stephanie know this topic because they were at the Super Saturday with me over the weekend, and hopefully you all have made it to a Super Saturday this past weekend. But one of the things that we've listened to from Monica Ward, who is a founding coach, was she talked about vision. And I think that is something that we lose or we never really think of. You hear all the time about how we need to think of our why. You know, once you sign up as a coach, you need to think of your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want Beachbody to work for you? Why do you want Beachbody? And we talk about the starting points and everything, but we don't really think about our vision and where we want to go and what we want to do with our family and our future and our business and our team. And when I heard Monica Ward talk, it was like, it clicked. Like, you know, there's times in our business where we struggle. You know, we get to diamond and we lose diamond, or we get to star diamond and we lose it, or whatever it is. Or, you know, we build momentum in our income or recruiting or whatever it is. And then there's that slump. And then we fall back in a negative mindset and we're like, what is it that I'm doing? Or, you know, am I even good at this? And I think that's where we lack our vision, because we don't really know what it is that we're working towards. And when Monica was talking about breaking down your vision, like, from where do you want to be in your life in 1 year, in 5 years, and in 10 years, it really hit me. Like, we always talk about, like, you know, like, be here in 1 year. Like, if any of you guys know Mindy Wender in Team Go Getter, she's always talking about be here in 1 year. Like, no matter what you do, you're going to be here in 1 year, but where do you want to be in 1 year? And we think about that, and maybe that's in your why, but you don't think beyond that. And I think that if we incorporated our vision into our everyday activities and things like that, it would help us, especially when we go from a certain, you know, like if we go from diamond and we get back to emerald, because that's happened to me before, and I'm sure it's happened to Lauren. And, you know, then we forget like what it is that we're working towards, or we may have not even thought about what it is that we're working towards, because yes, we have our why, but our why is so much different than our vision. Does that make sense?
Yep. And I think about, like, is that me?
It's always
That was me.
Oh. I was
Here,
like,
everyone mute yourself.
I've never heard that sound before. Holy crap. I think about, like, our vision, and like Vicki said, they're different, but your why might be like molded into your vision. And I think your vision can be so big. It's like almost like a mission, or I know for like me, like when I created my vision, I created it super detailed, like all the way to like where I want to like build our dream house, how many kids I want to be having, my vision for my 5 years or 10 years, and having it be that in depth. So you can, like, I remember when I first started, well, probably not first started, like 1 or 2 years in, I actually like wrote out my vision. So I had it in front of me so I could like read it. And it's different than your why, because your why changes, you know, like when you first start as a coach, your why might be to pay for your Shakeology or whatever, you know, and as we dig into that, you dig into your why and it becomes deeper, but your vision is like, just your vision you have for your life. And I feel like your business is a part of that. So it doesn't have to be like a super separate vision for your life or like for your business, but it's all kind of like intertwined, if that makes sense.
Can I say something real quick?
Oh, yeah, of course.
you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I've never even done this on my phone before, so I'm all like awkward, and like, what's happening on my phone? So yeah, I was there when she was talking about it, and that was actually one of my biggest takeaways from the Super Saturday. And I came home to Nick and told him all about it, and I even messaged Monica afterwards because it was so inspiring to me too. But one thing that she was saying too to do is like have it be like, you know, not just like, oh, I want to earn six figures or things like that, but have it be like so detailed that you can like literally like feel it. You know, she talked about like how she wanted to live at the beach and wanted to actually be able to drink her coffee in the morning looking at the beach from her porch, you know, stuff like that that was like so detailed and like that you could literally visualize. And one thing I like too that she did, because we've been actually writing ours up since Super Saturday together, both Nick and I, and like our own, and then, you know, combining it and talking about it. But when she said to use really pretty font, and I was like, yeah, like that's, you know, because people were laughing at that, but like that's, you know, it makes it look good, you know, make it look visually appealing, you know, so when you look at it every day, you know, it means something to you. So that's all I wanted to say about it.
I agree. I love too having it be super detailed like that, because I feel like your why you can kind of visualize a little bit, but it's not, but you can't, you know, like you can't really visualize that as much as your vision.
Yeah, and like the important thing about like Cindy said, make it so detailed. Like she said that hers was literally 15 pages long. Like it's not something like your why that you can post on your wall, but it's something that you can definitely keep in a notebook or on your computer, where you can go back and, you know, reread it every month or reread it every week, because that's going to help you keep that drive and that fire in your belly when it comes to working your business and doing your workouts and, you know, doing the things that are so easy to forget that we should be doing, that is so easy to move our business forward, but sometimes we're like, oh, I can get to that later, but you know what I mean. And I loved how she broke it up in sections too, like break it up where you guys want to be. And I really want, like Lauren and I really want you guys to do this as an assignment, and go to your, you know, your Emerald coaches and your brand new coaches and bring this to them too, because I think you don't have to be a diamond leader to have that vision. You should be a brand new leader and still have that vision, because if you have that vision from the beginning, you're going to be unstoppable. I mean, if you have that drive and that fire of knowing what you want in your life, then nothing's going to break you from that. So, you know, break it down in sections, like, and like, I know that Cindy's doing this too, but if you have a spouse or a significant other or children, like write your vision for them too, like where you want your children to be in the 5 and the 1 and the 5 and the 10. Break it from like your physical, where you want your physical self to be, your mental self, spiritually, wealth, like your way of living. How do you want your every day to be? Like, do you want to be able to sleep in until 9 o'clock in the morning, wake up and watch the waves crashing while you're sipping your coffee or walking your dog on the beach or down a trail, or, you know, work from noon to 3 every day, be able to walk your kids to and from school? Like, make it so detailed that you can literally watch yourself doing it in your mind.
Can I say something, Vicki?
Yes, of course.
So yesterday was a huge day for me, and this all goes to vision. So yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of officially retiring from teaching. So when I started this business, it was in August, so I'm coming up on my 2-year, and I said that my goal for my first year was in 1 year, by my anniversary of being a Beachbody coach, I was going to retire from teaching and homeschool my kids. And I kept that vision in front of me, and I worked like a dog with a brand new baby at home. And it was so hard, guys, but let me tell you, I was able to retire before my goal and say that I wasn't coming back, that I was going to own my own time at home with my kids. And I knew exactly what I wanted that day to look like. And I just kept reminding myself, kept keeping that in front of me every single day. And I hit my goal before my goal date. So you can do it. Trust me, you can do it.
That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that stuff.
You're welcome.
And I think too, like when you're visionary, your why is like something that tugs on your heart. All know this, but I think like sometimes we use that when we are going through like the downs of our business, and we all go through downs in our business. Like it happens all the time, but that's when we need to like remember our why and our vision and like keep it in front of us to keep like us focused on where we want to go instead of like all this crap that's happening around us. Because all of you can say you've probably gone through downs in your business where you lose rank or your income drops or you don't hit Success Club or people sign with other people or X, Y, and Z. You know, like all of us have those downs in our business. And that's when you go to PD, personal development, right away too. But that's when you like just reread your visioning, get inspired. And I think that's you're like, for me, when I think about my vision, I get inspired to like work and I get inspired to share what I'm doing because it's like, that's what I'm working towards. That's what I want for my family. That's what I want for my life. And when you don't know, like, you don't really have that clear like vision for your life, you don't really feel like you know where you're going. Maybe if that's what I feel.
No,
It also makes it a lot easier to share the opportunity with other people when you have your vision in your forefront, because it comes from a less like salesy, for lack of a better term, like salesy, like when we come back from Summit and we're so inspired and we know exactly what's possible in the business, then I think when we share the opportunity with others, it just comes from a completely different place. So
for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and you're not so focused on the selling part, you're focused on your vision and like what your vision is and sharing that with people and helping them like even find their vision before they maybe even join with you, you know, because that way you're kind of like painting that picture for them.
Right. And like when, like Stephanie said, like she turned one of her visions that she wanted so bad into reality. And that's something she could definitely share, you know, when she's talking about coaching or when she's talking about the love for the business or whatever. Like she could bring that to her coaches or to people that she's just building those relationships with. And when you have that vision, you know what you're working towards. And like Ann said, like if you don't know where you're going, then you don't know what you're working towards, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One of my other favorite things that I loved from one of my favorite takeaways is that Monica said that she gives a book to her coaches called Send Your Stuff You May, 1,000 Best Places or the 1,000 Most Amazing Places to Travel in the World.
It was the like 1,000 or 100 places I want to see before I die.
Oh, okay. And
there's like a domestic one and there's an international one. She
right.
said that she started doing it was the international.
So she made us all write down the number 1 through 10 and make a list of all the places that you want to go, and not just places that you want to go, but like how long you want to stay there, what you want to travel there for, the things you want to do. And like it's cool when you think about like, imagine having an unlimited amount of money, unlimited amount of free time. Like where would you guys go? Who would you bring with you? How long would you stay? What kind of things would you do? And these are the things that she makes her coaches think about when she gives them this book, because then they're actually like flipping through these amazing pages and, you know, like finding amazing adventures that they can go on and actually visualizing it and turning that into their vision. So that's something that you guys can do too. I'm not saying like buy your coaches this book or whatever, but like add those 10 places to your list of things that you want to do, and, you know, be super detailed. Like what kind of place do you want to stay in a tent? Do you want to stay in a mansion? Do you want to stay in a castle? Do you want to, you know, whatever. But it was really cool. And like there was a row of my coaches right next to me, and seeing the difference, like me and Cindy had some of the same ones, like New Zealand and Africa was some of the same. And then like Pam, my other coach Pam, was sitting next to me, and we were completely different. And then there was another coach who was completely different, but like seeing everyone's vision and writing it down and like what you would do, like an African safari or skiing in Aspen or scuba diving in Bora Bora or whatever, you know, like, and then having all these crazy adventures that you could never imagine in your vision and working towards that. Like Wouldn't that build your fire?
I think also too, like Andrea's talked about in her GSR calls, she talks to her new coaches about like kind of visualizing where they want to go. And so it would be another option, like if you don't want to buy the book or you want to like get your new coaches started out with visualizing, then like when you send the welcome email and if you send like an about me form, you could also add another form like top 10 places you want, like add that as kind of like a new coach assignment. And then that way you start them right off the bat with visualizing. And then when you talk to them, you can be like, remember when you said you wanted to go? It also gives you a chance to get to know them a little bit better.
That's an awesome idea.
Cool. I think with creating like your vision and stuff and like helping your coaches create that vision, not having limitations on it. Cause I know like, I'm sure a lot of you like feel like you're, well, I guess a realistic, like realist, is that what it's called? When you're like, okay, well I can't do that because I won't have this money by then or whatever. And like taking away all those limitations. And like Vicki said, if money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if X, Y, and Z, whatever those limitations are that you set on yourself aren't an issue, what would your life look like? Like, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years, in 1 year? Like, cancel out all those limitations and just like dream and like envision where you want to be. Like, it makes me excited. Like, I almost just want to do it right now. Like, create my own vision, even though I know kind of what it is, but still.
Mike Ryan was also there, who's like, you know, superstar diamond stuff, and he kind of piggybacked on her too because he was talking about like why, you know, as kids, you know, you go to like
Cindy,
and you ask them what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, oh, I want to be a firefighter. I want to do whatever. Oh, really? Can you hear me now?
kind of.
Well, he was talking about, like, you know, at a certain point, like, life and adults just come into our life and say, no, you basically can't do that, and how much that sucks, you know, and just really dreaming your vision with a child's mind, you know, like where they have no idea that they can't go surf the longest wave in South Africa. Like, they don't know how much that costs. That was on my list, by the way. And I don't even know how to surf, so that would mean I would have to actually put leisure time in and learning how to surf, right? So yeah, so using that child's mind and getting that back, because that's why we always feel so stuck in our lives. You know, it's like, you know, me sitting in an hour-long commute right now. Like, that's not living, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy how we lose that child's like mind when we're growing up, and everybody who tells us, no, you can't do that, or no, we can't afford that, or no, whatever, we don't have time for that. And you lose that dream, you know. It's kind of sad.
Well, he started talking about like how when he signed up as a Beachbody coach, and I had the same thing, like, you think that you're coming into something so amazing, like who doesn't need health and fitness in their life, and who doesn't need support, right? So you come into this business and you think all your family and friends would be uber supportive of you, and you're not getting the same feedback as you thought you would or were. And it's kind of like as a child, like when you're growing up and you're like, oh, I want to be a princess, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And, you know, people start like not really putting you down, but saying like, oh, well, you can't do that because of X, Y, and Z, or, you know, you can't do this. Like, I'm going to be honest, like my mom has always been a 9-to-5 worker. She always did manual labor. And when I started Beachbody, she was like, that's not a real job. Like, you're going to actually make a living doing that. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be good at it, but I'm going to give it a shot. And, you know, like I had a really close friend of mine who, you know, like kind of condescends the whole Beachbody thing and stuff. And little things like that can tear you down. But I think that's why having that vision and not letting anybody have a part of taking that away from you, because you have the right to make that choice of what your vision is. You have the right to keep it too. It's up to you to create that, and it's up to you to get your vision. Does that make sense? And not let anyone tear you down or say, oh, Pam, you can't go to Costa Rica, or, you know, whatever it is. But that's your vision. That's your baby.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Cheers.
Water cheers. Does anyone have any questions about that? vision, pretty self-explanatory to create your own vision. Good. I think we wanted to talk too about just like any struggles that anyone was having to get like where you guys are at with your teams. And even like, I thought it would be cool to talk about like what's working well for you. Like if you have something that you feel like is working really awesome, whether it's with like recruiting or with your team or with just talking to people or stuff like that, kind of like brainstorm a little bit. Cause I think we're all kind of like in similar spots, and it will help each other to kind of brainstorm a little bit. If you want to go that way, Vicki.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Emily raised her hand.
Hi. I have been telling my coaches to not underestimate the power of unplugging and getting off of Facebook and getting off of Messenger and talking to people like face to face. And that seems to have been, I think, some of the best advice I've been able to give my coaches, because even if it's not like I just gave them this advice like 2 weeks ago, so it's not like immediately working, but they were just like, oh, because if you think about there's 300,000 coaches and they're all on Facebook, they're not all in your backyard, they're not all at the grocery store, they're not all at your family reunion, they're not all going to the park every Thursday and going for a run, like they're not all out there. Like if you think that you can't find people on Facebook, it's probably because somebody else already found them. And there's 100 people on my parents' block that are easy targets because none of them know a Beachbody coach. Like just walk down the street. And that has been, I think, the biggest thing that has helped me the past couple months and has helped my coaches too. Unplug.
That's awesome.
I'm going to kind of add on to that. I recently deleted Messenger from my phone. I run a fit group that's aside from Beachbody. I started it before I started Beachbody. And there was like some huge drama, and this girl like kept messaging me. So I was like, enough is enough. I can't do the Messenger thing anymore. She was sending like 6 messages every 5 minutes. Like my phone was blowing up. It's like 11 o'clock at night. So I was like, enough is enough. This chick is crazy. So I deleted Messenger. It is literally the best thing I could have done for my business, because as a new diamond, I have my business hours, but I'm still responding to messages the second they come in. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I deleted Messenger, and now I only respond to messages between X times. It has been amazing. I'm getting such a better response from people. And I sat there and went, well, people are going to be angry if they're not hearing back from me right away. You know what? They're not. People are busy too, just like we are. It has been the best thing for my sanity and for my business. If you haven't deleted Messenger from your phone, do it. I made all of my coaches do it. Every single one of them has said, thank you so much. Do it, seriously.
I want to piggyback on that, Pam, because I was totally doing the same thing. Like, then somebody said, just shut off your notifications. If you want to keep Messenger on your phone, because I do work from my phone while my kids are at sports practices, because I travel so much that I have to work from my phone and I need Messenger to do that. But I just shut off all of my notifications, and I only check in when it's time for me to check in, and that's helped as well. So if you're like me and you kind of need to use Messenger, that's a tip too that's worked really well for me and for my coaches.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely make sure that you and your team as well is getting that downtime too. You guys are business people. You guys shouldn't be at everyone's beck and call. As much as we feel like Pam said, as much as we feel like they're going to be like, oh, I hate you, you're not responding right away, or fine, I'm going to go to someone else. They will respect you. And as long as you lay it down, like I tell my coaches, oh, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you on Friday afternoon because I shut off my messaging time at 3 o'clock on Friday. And so, you know, I always say, like, if it's my coaches, I say, if you have an emergency and it can't be posted in one of the groups that you're a part of, text me. Then I will respond to you. But if it's not an emergency, and if it's something that can be answered in a group, post it in the group or wait until I get back to my business hours.
I think with that too, you know, if people are constantly seeing that you're on Facebook 24/7 and answering messages 24/7, that's not appealing to a lot of people because they come in thinking like, well, I can't be a coach because I have to be on social media 24/7. Like I can't be on there 24/7. I have a life. And it's like, you don't portray that you can really do this business in 2 hours when you're on Facebook 24/7 and answering stuff 24/7.
Right.
So, you know what? People don't want to have to work a job 24/7. Right. I don't want to anyways. Anything else working really well for anybody?
I have something.
Who was that? Was that Carrie?
Can you see me?
Who was that?
Oh, yeah.
It's me? Okay. I've started just recently in the last literally couple days, started using the audio voice memo thing in Facebook Messenger. And it was really just for convenience because I didn't want to type stuff out. But I've gotten a lot better response from people that I'm responding messages to. And it's just less than 60 seconds. Like I had a lady ask about the performance line, and I literally just told her what I thought about it and how I used it and the results that I had from it. And she was like, she wrote me back this really personal message. Like, we've been friends on Facebook as runner friends for over a year, but she finally wrote back and was like, wow, thanks. I got your voice message. That's so cool. I'm so glad I follow you on Facebook. I wish I lived closer and we could hang out. I was like, wow, like it just made our relationship closer.
It's much more personal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's quick, you know, and I watched a video from Caleb Thomas. He said that's how he does his invites because it's less than 60 seconds. They get to hear your voice. They know it's not a copy paste. And just like you would in any other message, you go to their page first, see what they're into, and you verbalize that in the invite. You say something that's going on in their life or that you've noticed that they're doing, But it just makes it more personal using the audio recorder. I like it.
It's so true. Like, because last week I had a What is Coaching webinar, and I was going to talk to a coach prospect afterwards. I thought we were hopping on the phone, and then she started sending me stuff through Messenger, and I didn't feel like typing. So I sent her a voice message, and then she was like, oh my God, that was so cool. So I think we just forget that, like, it's such a little thing. It makes our lives easier. And then they get to feel like they're more connected to us. And then with my coaches, I also use Voxer because texting sometimes just gets to be too much. Like if I'm in the middle of working and they want to tell me something or ask me something, it's way easier if I can quickly respond and then put my phone back down and then get back to work. So I use Voxer now for all my coaches.
I always had the audio on the computer, to message like on the computer. And that was just a wish.
And I know the video I saw where Caleb Thomas was talking about using the video or the audio for Facebook. He literally was on his computer. He went to someone's page that he knew he wanted to invite. He would scroll through, look at what was going on in their lives, and then he would pick up his phone and use the audio on his phone while he was looking at their Facebook page. Send them an invite.
I have to kind of add something to that. So Carrie was talking about Caleb Thomas and how he goes to people's pages and adds whatever they're into that invite. But another thing that we learned at Super Saturday is, I'm going to mess up her name, Carly Delgado. Anyway, she's
Delgado.
Yeah. So she's a very successful coach. And what she does, instead of sending out like the random hey girl messages, that she, like, when you're on Facebook and you see like a status update that catches your eye, like someone went to an amazing waterfall, then you personally message them and say, hey, Lauren, where was that waterfall at? That looks amazing. Send them a personal message regarding their status update, because that's a new connection for you instead of just a random hey girl. And then you can go into building that relationship in there as well. So I've actually been doing that since Super Saturday, and it feels so much more genuine instead of sending out random hey girls.Es that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then when you put a question in there or a response of what they posted, then they want to respond back. They feel like, oh, well, thank you so much, or this and that.
I've actually worked on my friends list on Facebook from back in the day when Carrie told us.
That's actually what I've been doing anyway with can you guys hear me?
Cindy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Michelle was talking.
Oh, I can't hear her. Why can't I hear her?
Because she's quiet.
Hear me? Can you hear me now?
I turned up the volume in my car.
But what I did is I've been working, it took me a few days to get my friends list back to separated again. So I separate my coaches onto a BB coach list, and then my non-coaches, potential prospects, friends on a friendship building list. And what I do is I've actually added 15 to 20 minutes of friendship building scroll time in my Power Hour. And I go through my friendship building list, and I don't see any Beachbody coach updates or statuses on this list. And so what I can do is I can see all potential prospects, and I see as those statuses come up, then I'm able to message them right away, Vicki, and do what you just said, because I'm not flooded with coaches.
Right. That's awesome.
But yeah, it's definitely worked and helped out, because I know scrolling is a bad thing, but I think if you work it right, you can utilize it as part of your Power Hour and really get out some real genuine messages to them. So that's what's been helping for me too.
Awesome. Okay, Cindy. Cindy?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Oh my God, this phone. It's awful to do a Zoom by phone, too. So, like, I do something similar, but I do something different than Michelle, because we've kind of worked together on that with, like, our ACT program, which is what we use to actually track all of our customers, challengers, prospects, all that stuff, which I know some of you guys are using, too. But, like, for me, I cannot scroll. I will get completely sucked into the scroll, even if it's just for prospects, and I'll have an hour go by, and, like, it just doesn't work for me. And so, actually, in my ACT software, I have a task which is actually called a relationship build. And so I open my software up, and it actually gives me specific individuals that I'm supposed to be relationship building with. And then that's actually what I will do is I will physically go to their page, and you can actually do that through ACT, the program we use, but I don't do it like that. I just do it through Facebook, and I go to their physical page. And that's what I'll do is I'll look at their page, see if there's anything cool going on, either make comments or message them about what was very specific on their page. And then I reschedule it depending on how active they are on Facebook or how close we're becoming. Like, I'll usually reschedule that anywhere from 3 to 7 days out, or if it's someone who's like not on Facebook a lot, I'll schedule it like 2 weeks out. So that way I don't even have to think about it. It automatically comes up on my to-do list during the day, or every single day for my Power Hour. And then also I printed my Facebook list of people, and I've taken all of the coaches out, or people who have other coaches on their friends list and stuff like that. And I am adding 3 new people, like 3 new relationship builds a day. So that way I'm like not overwhelmed, but I'm still continuing to add new and new relationship builds all the time. So that's what I do, because I can't do the scroll. It'll suck me in. But it's worked really good, you guys. Like, I just made my record Success Club. Like, I have struggled with Success Club my whole life as a coach, and I just hit my most consecutive months in Success Club. So it's definitely it's definitely working. And it's people that are coming to me now because they're actually seeing, those relationship builds obviously like make it so your stuff shows up in their newsfeed more. It builds your affinity that way instead of necessarily coming to you.
For sure.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so in case you guys didn't really hear Cindy, she uses a software called act.com. And I think the first 30 days is free. You get a free trial. And it links to your Facebook, so you can get all your Facebook contacts in there. And Cindy, did you ever make that video about how to work ACT by chance?
No. Okay. Although, you know what? Like, are you guys hearing feedback like me? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Carrie Goodwell is even more advanced than I am.
All right, well, Carrie.
But I would be more than willing to do it too.
Damn it, Cindy. Calls me out.
We know you're a pro when it comes to organization. Come on.
I'm a
Yeah,
tech.
she likes to
Uh-oh.
Now everybody's getting busy.
I know. They're both choppy.
They're both on their phones, that's why.
Yeah. Carrie only cares about posing with her dog right now.
I gotta get off because I'm my client. So
Okay, bye, Cindy. Thank you.
Bye.
love you guys. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Carrie, did you ever make like a spreadsheet or a how-to on ACT, or would you want to do that?
A spreadsheet video on how I do it.
I don't know.
Does that sound okay?
Sure, whatever
We
you
can
say.
hear you.
I can't really hear you.
Oh, is it bad?
It's bad.
I'll talk slower. I will make a video for you.
Thank you. That would be very helpful.
Is there anything else you wanted to go over?
No, just make sure that we pass it on to our coaches. And I think if we all took what, like Anne said, like incorporate that in our welcome email or about me forms, that would be a great way to start. And then that's when you get on that GSR with them and you can start from the beginning, brand new, sign up as a coach, and then start helping them build that vision. I think that's awesome. But for now, we can also pass this on to, our teams that are, whatever seasoned coach or brand new coach or whatever, because everybody, no matter where you are at in this business, needs to have that vision.
Right. And I think you guys like even whoa. Why am I vibrating? That's not cool. Even creating like
What are you doing?
I'm really echoing on myself.
Okay, here, I'll mute my.
Okay, am I echoing now? No. Okay. Even creating like a video to share with your team and like sharing your vision and how in-depth your vision is, and then have them like give them an assignment to create the same thing. And like for me, it's easy for me to like make a video and like speak my vision. So like you could have them write it down or make a video or whatever and have them send it to you so you guys can be like on the same page to know where they want to go. Because obviously if they're like, in 5 years I want to be debt free and like living here and build my dream house, and they're like only working a half hour a day, barely, like you kind of know where you can like guide them where they need to do more, versus a coach who says, okay, in 10 years I want to quit my day job. Like you kind of know, like you can play around with that too. So it helps you figure out what their daily tasks should be and their goals and stuff too. So that's probably what I'll do for my team.
One thing that you did, Lauren, that was really helpful a while ago for your coaches was like you talked about what your perfect day looked like. And then you had us kind of create like what our perfect day looked like. So I think sometimes also for new coaches or coaches who don't really truly understand what's possible, maybe like creating long-term vision for what they want. They're not there yet. So like some coaches are going to be able to do that no matter what. But I think if you have a coach too that like I don't even know where to begin, then maybe like scale it back and be like, okay, what does your perfect day look like? If you could just have your perfect day, what would that be?
Right.
And then kind of work from there.
Yeah, very good idea. I'm glad you did that.
I think I might steal that. Thanks, buddy.
I'm talking to me.
But that's, huh? So just so everyone knows, this is going to be the same exact time every other Tuesday.
And as your guys' coaches hit diamonds, then you can start adding them to this too.
Right. Like we said, at the end of August, this is going to be full. We're going to max out at 25. Is everybody on a team cup? Emily said no. Emily, are you getting on a team cup?
I can't lead one because we're moving. Oh no. I can't get into leading because we're moving in 2 weeks, and then I will be driving 3 hours a day renovating our house for the last couple weeks of August, so I can't lead a team. I could participate, but everybody already has a diamond. So I'm okay. I'm okay without it this time. I get my situation.
Well, if you want to be a part of one, I'm sure there's plenty of teams out there that need one or more people that possibly do not have any diamonds. Just throwing that out there. If you want.
I have a few emeralds that could take a diamond and start a team.
As long as I don't have to lead it.
I have one of my emeralds that's actually leading the team, and they don't have a complete team yet. So message me, Emily, and I'll hook you up with them.
Okay.
Sweet.
And from this call, I don't know if I want to dye my hair pink or get a tattoo. I feel like maybe both.
Okay, so anything, Lauren, you're muted. I see you talking, but you're muted.
No. I was gonna probably say the same thing you were gonna say.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Does anyone have any other questions they want to go over? Yeah. Anything you're struggling with that you want to talk about? We haven't even hit the 10-minute mark yet.
Oh, because I have I upgraded.
You're cool.
I have my moments.
I think for me, I just haven't taken the time to set my vision. So I think that's where I need to like step back and redo it again. And today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I said it.
I love you, Michelle. So it's funny that you say that, like, you haven't taken the time, because I was actually talking to Cindy about this. I know she's already off, but when she introduced ACT software to me, I was like, I don't have time to learn something new. Like, I don't have time. And she was like, you don't have time not to, because just like your vision, you think that you don't have time to do something that could be so powerful for your business that you can't afford not to take that time to do it. Like, whether it's an organization software or writing your vision or whatever it is. And so I think that's where we have to put ourselves in check.
Well, I think it's mentally, I wasn't seeing it as an action for my business. I was seeing it as a side creative and not the main side.
Right, for sure. So who's gonna create their vision now? Write their vision. I'm going to do it too. I have yet to do it. Carrie, I love it. And I don't know about you guys, but like I'm the type of person that has to handwrite things. Like I handwrite my coaches, I handwrite my prospects, because to me, like, I don't know if it was Chalene Johnson that said it, but there's something about the power in the pen. And I feel like if I'm actually handwriting it instead of typing it, like it's more likely to come true, or it's more likely to happen. And so hopefully I'll have pretty hand font enough to make it look good, but at least I could handwrite it first and then maybe type it out and put like girly hearts. And
You just said hand font.
hand font. That's right. I did. You're right. This is a no judgment zone, Carrie. I'm just saying too, you're muted, but I could lip read and hand font at the same time. All right. All right. No more questions. Oh, you want to, is that a selfie? Is that hand gesture for selfie? Okay. We're all gonna selfie it up. Are you guys ready? Steph? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yay. Okay. Thank you guys.